EOM Business Network. So much for one broadcast.
Hello there. It's a very beautiful day and many thanks indeed for joining us. You're watching the EOM Business Network, indeed the voice of corporate Nigeria. I am Olorogo Elkanah Moware. Today on the program, we shall be interfacing with select industry captains about their businesses, the operating environment, and other related issues. And so with Let's Talk, we shall be featuring the distinguished and award-winning CEOs of GIA Logistics Limited and DEMEA Empire Limited. And on Spot On, we shall bring you a visionary, passionate, transformative, and resilient professional, alumnus of the famous University of Hull in England and the highly respected Nigerian Law School, serial entrepreneur, experienced, versatile, and people-friendly financial services management expert, team player, and industry captain. Osaro Junior Isokban is the founder and chief executive officer of SERVICEBREEDER Limited, a global standard social impact digital service provider in Nigeria and one of the most distinguished CEOs to look out for in 2026. And on the face-to-face is an excellent gentleman, embodiment of integrity, vision-driven, passionate, and impactful business management expert, philanthropist, and people-friendly entrepreneur, team player, and industry captain. Emmanuel Asukwo is the founder and president of Multistream TM Limited, an integrated and trustworthy world-class multi-level marketing herbal firm in Nigeria and one of the most distinguished CEOs to look out for in 2026. And an excellent gentleman, erudite, vision-driven, versatile, and impactful financial services management expert with extensive experience in audit, tax, and advisory services, holder of highly respected academic and professional certifications, fellow, Chartered Institute of Accountants, team player, and industry captain. Eben Jewels is the founder and managing partner of STRANSACT Partners, a leading integrated world-class professional financial advisory firm in Nigeria and one of the most distinguished CEOs to look out for in 2026. This is a package you must see. I am Olorogo Elkanah Moware. Stay with us.
Michael Dosimo, a perfect gentleman, insightful, strategic, and impactful business management expert, alumnus of the University of Lagos in Nigeria, certified, seasoned, passionate, and customer-centered entrepreneur, team player, and industry captain, is the founder and chief executive officer of Ebody Education Nigeria Limited, a leading full-service, world-class, international students placement consultancy firm in Africa, and one of the most distinguished CEOs to look out for in 2026.
As a business that is built around strong core values, the starting point of appraisal is the fact that you ask those core questions. Have you demonstrated the highest level of integrity in dealing with the clients? The speed with which you're supposed to attend to their needs, did you carry that out in dealing with the client? Have you been professional with them? The entirety of the three pillars of your core values, if all those are answered in the affirmative as a starting point, that's not all. As a business, you aim to delight a customer. So it's like you shooting for the sky. You miss it, but you hit a bird. So what happens is, at least there's customer satisfaction that you try to deliver. Everything I could do, speed expected, I delivered. Integrity, there's nothing in my cupboard for you to check. I try to delight you. When you answer all those in affirmative, it's the minimum. The customer is still not happy or dissatisfied, that's understandable. It might not be something to do with something outside of you completely. You'll be calm, listen to them, because you need to be. Empathy is the DNA of our business, because we know that we deal with humans. We don't have business doing our business if the human element is removed, and the human is not numbers for us, they're actual human beings. So when you've done all of that, of course at the senior level we try to intervene. We of course there are lots of make good opportunities that are created, because at the end of the day, you do everything that you can, to first ensure that all the core values questions are answered in affirmative, and then there are make good opportunities.
A DEMEA Abigail, a beautiful and brilliant professional, purpose-driven, transformative and impactful business management strategies, signpost of excellence and integrity, alumna of the famous National Open University Nigeria, experienced, passionate, resilient and people-friendly entrepreneur, teamwork advocate and industry leader, is a founder and chief executive officer of DEMEA Empire Limited, a leading global standard business support service provider in Nigeria and one of the most distinguished CEOs to look out for in 2026.
The word DEMEA itself came when I was still in secondary school. So then we're just like, coining name, like we made use of our surname, first name, just playing around with things. We were looking for like a nickname then. So, and then they gave me that nickname. So from there I liked the name, and then I kept on using it. For anything I was doing, I was using it. There was a time I started makeup, so I was using DEMEA glams. There was a time I did other businesses and I was also using DEMEA, so I grew to love that name, and then I registered it. DEMEA Empire started around 2019 while I was still trying to figure out life. I was still in university. I was studying tourism studies at the National Open University. So as at that time, I was, thinking of something I could do to keep up with myself, to be able to pay my bills and all that. So I decided to, start up a business. And before then, I already had the zeal, the dream to help people register. Because before then, I went to the aviation school. I studied tourism management. And then during that time, there was someone that was actually doing something like that. So I wanted to, learn how the service works, but I was not able to. Even after I left there, I was working in a law firm. I also tried to learn how to do it, but I was not able to. So when I saw the privilege of, me able to learn it and all that, I said, okay, I think this is time for me to, take up the things I've always wanted to do it. And then I started it. I just started it. I didn't take it seriously anyway, because I took it as something, just give me 20k, 50k to just sort out my bills. I didn't take it something serious. But with time, I grew interest in it and I really loved it. And I continued doing it. So to this very point, it has not been easy. But there are times when I wanted to give up, You get tired along the line. It's not easy to stay consistent, keep doing the same thing, keep coming up with ideas, research. I do a lot of research, especially about my business. I always try to do a lot of research to see what I need to do better, how I need to improve myself, courses I need to take, and all that. So all of this is, I kept on learning. Even till now, I'm still learning. We register businesses, companies, foundation, club, association, mosques. We also help business owners provide copyrights, trademarks, SCOMO certificates. And then apart from the registration part, we're also into branding. So we do business cards, ID cards, t-shirts, different type of branding at all that you might need, souvenirs. And then we're also into award plaques.
Chief Ifechukwu Echezona, a perfect gentleman, signpost of trust, graduate of the prestigious Maritime Academy in Imo State and Nigeria Institute of Shipping in Lagos, renowned, purpose-driven, impactful and customer-centric freight forwarding and logistics services management expert, philanthropist, teamwork advocate and award-winning industry leader, is the founder, managing director and chief executive officer of GIA Logistics Limited, a frontline global standard digital freight forwarding, shipping and logistics firm in Nigeria and one of the most distinguished CEOs to look out for in 2026.
Most of the challenges that we're facing now is, number one, the high cost of terminal and shipping charges. That is number one. The congestion. The congestion is very, very crazy. Imagine the ship will arrive in Nigeria and for like 1 week, 2 weeks, the container has not been dropped as a result of congestion, trying to create space for them to drop more containers. So, and I feel like the only solution to all of these things, if we will have more ports across the borders, across Nigeria, it will ease the tension. You know, it's not easy. With God by our side, we're pushing it, and to God be good. We are willing to learn. So, not just being a leader, we try to get better every day. Try to, improve in our skills. Try to adapt to the new system. So, with that, I can tell you that we have beaten up to the standards. I'll give them 50 over 100. I would say that a lot of work needs to be done. We need selfless leaders. We need people who have the same IQ or the same goal or the same vision of where we are going to. We want people who love Nigeria. We have a lot of things that are frustrating us. If you agree with me, you know what I'm talking about. So, yeah. So I wish and I pray that one day God will raise men that will understand the vision of Nigeria, that will understand the vision of First Forward.
Osaro Jr. is Superman, a visionary, passionate, transformative, and resilient professional, alumnus of the famous University of Hull in England and the highly respected Nigeria Law School. Serial entrepreneur, experienced, versatile, and people-friendly financial services management expert, team player, and industry captain, is the founder and chief executive officer of SERVICEBREEDER Limited, a global standard social impact digital service provider in Nigeria and one of the most distinguished CEOs to look out for in 2026.
At SERVICEBREEDER, we have a business development institute, which is essentially our training arm focused on service quality. Through the Business Development Institute, we emphasize training across different industries for SMEs as well as large corporates. We try to incorporate the basic tenets of service delivery across the different stratospheres of business. But beyond business development, our core focus at this point in time is our dispute resolution mechanism. SERVICEBREEDER has a portal through which either party to a transaction, whether it is the end user or the service provider, can actually log into our portal and log a complaint about a failure of the end user to pay their bills, failure of the service provider, for instance, to actually do what they've been paid to do. There's an opportunity to actually attach supporting documents or evidence as the case may be. And what we do is we have a team of spy-trained police officers and legal practitioners behind the scene that look into the affairs and actually reach out to both parties to try and arbitrate, or should I say mediate, and in the process reconcile issues. And the fact of the matter is that the average Nigerian is terribly busy. The average Nigerian doesn't always have the time to go and delve into issues or resolve issues. But whether you like it or not, these issues actually weigh on you as an individual. So the idea is to outsource your disputes to SERVICEBREEDER, give us the opportunity to resolve issues between you and whoever the other party to the dispute is.
Emmanuel Asukwo, an excellent gentleman, embodiment of integrity, vision-driven, passionate and impactful business management expert, philanthropist and people-friendly entrepreneur, team player and industry captain, is the founder and president of Multistream TM Limited, an integrated and trustworthy world-class multi-level marketing herbal firm in Nigeria, in one of the most distinguished CEOs to look out for in 2026.
Multistream TM Limited is a business for you. It's a business that you can trust. Multistream is a name that when we tell you we will do this, we will do beyond what we have said we will do. We at Multistream like to under-promise and over-deliver. I'd like to invite you, take your time, do your research about us, check what we have been able to do, check our track record, and then subscribe to our vision. Because where we are going is not what I can describe with words. It's what you will see. And so the opportunity right now is in your hands. You've heard me speak a little about what we have done, a little about what we intend to do. But what I have said is what I can say to a camera. There are other plans that I am holding back, but that will be a game changer around the world. I would like to invite you, do your research, and then come partner with Multistream, and let's grow together, everyone around the world. My name is Asukwo Emmanuel Omo. I am an alumnus of the University of Benin, Edo State, where I studied biochemistry, a course I deliberately chose to study because of course where we are going to. I am a modest individual, and I always tell people who are close to me, if there is anything I'm grateful to God for, is the fact that He has made me very contented with whatever I have, and I'm okay. I am someone who is crazy about research and development. And so I put energy in supporting institutions that are involved in research and development. That was why we had to go and revive, renovate, and re-establish abandoned or deteriorated laboratories in institutions of learning. Recently, we rehabilitated 2 laboratories in the Faculty of Pharmacy in the University of Uyo. We, help schools that are dilapidated. We help to renovate classrooms, places of learning. Now, it was brought to my attention that there is a military barracks somewhere that they have a challenge with water. And so we looked at it and we decided to install 16,000 liters of solar powered borehole.
Jewels, an excellent gentleman, erudite, vision-driven, versatile and impactful financial services management expert with extensive experience, audit, tax and advisory services, holder of highly respected academic and professional certifications, fellow Chartered Institute of Accountants, team player our industry. Katu is the founder and managing partner of STRANSACT Partners, a leading integrated world-class professional financial advisory firm in Nigeria and one of the most distinguished CEOs to look out for in 2026.
Our firm has a dedicated technology department, and we're one of the first that started that. For some other firms, what they do is they receive consulting. We have hands-on technology people that build. So more than 10 years ago, we had a technology team to build us our own custom payroll software. Now, payroll, the most important thing in payroll is tax deductions, tax calculations. A lot of foreign software that comes to Nigeria would not have our Nigerian tax table, So a lot of people had to use custom software, and there were no good custom software in the market, so we had to build our own. So that team evolved over 10 years into not just the custom software, being a high-class technology team, which is why it's easier for us to get. It was easy for us to get the NITDA and NRS licenses for transmission or for integration of e-invoicing, because we have a very strong team, one of the strongest among the accounting firms when it comes to technology. One of the small problems we are thinking about ourselves as I speak is that it looks like we are going to be giving up the name STRANSACT and becoming RSM Nigeria very, very soon. And we ourselves are sad about the fact that we've promoted this brand this far, and now we're going to be adopting the full global brand very soon. But that is just, by the way. We are happy that God has been kind. Our firm will be part of those global audit institutions that would, that have the foundation to remain in business for centuries.
We have achieved the Tier 1 status, and this has really come in handy for us in line with the recent tax act and the changes and all. Yeah, so we have seen an increase in demand based on the new Nigeria Tax Act. Of course, we see companies requesting for tax services, and especially with the e-invoicing requirements, right? We see companies wanting to integrate their existing ERPs with the e-invoicing platform of the Nigeria Revenue Service. So we've seen an increase in that demand. We've seen an increase in the desire for access point processors, access point providers. We've seen an increase in the demand for that. Traditional tax is gradually shifting, right? tax, the NRS is shifting to the point where everything becomes automated. They have visibility into the invoices you generate, into your expenses, your income, so that they can determine your VAT. So those invoices you get from your suppliers, that's where you claim your input VAT from. Then the ones you issue to your customers to get the output VAT. So it's easier, right, for the NRS to monitor your invoices and everything that comes in. So compliance becomes easier.
Special television report. The importance of the freight forwarding and logistics industry in Nigeria cannot be overemphasized. EOM Business Network on SERVICEBREEDER Television and the Council for the Regulation of Freight Forwarding in Nigeria present Freight Forwarding in Nigeria, Prospects, Challenges and the Future towards Sustainable Economic Development in a face-to-face with industry captains, regulators and operators. It is a must-watch.
Mandate of the Council is to oversee, to regulate and manage the practice of logistics services in Nigeria. Basically, logistics service covers all activities that enhances cargo flow, either by air, by sea, by land, to regulate this subsector.
It is a must-watch. Join us.
You are rendering services and you're paid for it.
We've given back to the society in more ways than one.
We talk that we need to do something differently.
Have you demonstrated the highest level of integrity?
IFE International was founded in 2013.
If I'm being recognized, it's my people that's being recognized because they do the day-to-day work.
That is based on feedback from the customer.
And that's our program for today. Thank you very much for spending your valued time with us. We hope it was worth your while. But just in case you missed out on any aspect of it, then you can come with us to eomcoms.com and any of our other social portals, as you can see on the screen. Thank you very much, our sincere sponsors, for your continued interest and support. Always remember, with you and us, we are champs. Oh yes, I remain Olorogo Elkanah Moari. Please, let's do this again, same time, same channel next week. We'll see you then.